I was discussing that last night, the fact that the obstacles that we face, the challenges that we go through, the things that seem to be traumatic, or even the experiences that push us to see that darker side of ourselves or that lighter side of ourselves, it's a form of our soul's expansion, right? And so without it, we wouldn't be able to see what's on the other side of ourselves. So it's a form of us being able to, should you guys see that? It's a form of us being able to learn about the other side of ourselves, whether that would be, good or bad, if you want to call it that, right? So, anytime that we go through certain things, certain experiences, whether good or bad, it triggers us or it trusts us into learning the possibilities of what we can be or what we're lacking, right? And so I always use addictions because I have experience with addictions, right? So, for example, when we're thrusted into addictions, there are certain things that we do that we would normally not do had we not been indulging in those activities, in those substances, right? And so once we heal from that and we've overcome certain things, there is no possible way that we would indulge in those activities anymore, because it doesn't resonate with us. I love to use the term "it doesn't resonate with us" because it just doesn't resonate with us, right? And so, with that being said, although it no longer resonates with us, it taught us what we were capable of, right? And so that would be in like a negative way, right? Like what we're capable in a negative way, whether we're overindulging in lust, right? Whether we're overindulging in substances, whether we're overindulging in control, right? It and the one of overindulging in control, that is like the heaviest form of addiction, is actually more damageable than the actual substance itself, right? Because when we're overindulging in control, we want to control everything, and we want to control the narrative, and we want to control how things play out, and we want to control how people view people or how people view us. We want to control everything, right? And so when we don't have control of that anymore, who are we? Right? That was just a thought. Right? So again, duality, right? It teaches us, it expands us to see the other side of the moon or the other side of the coin, whichever one you resonate with, right? It teaches us that thrust it trusts us into seeing that aspect of ourselves, and had we not gone through that, had we not experienced that, we would not have been able to see that we were capable of that, whether good or bad, right? And what we do from there is that we extract the lesson out of it and make the arrangements in order to come into balance with oneself. And sometimes we just burn the bridge completely when it comes to certain things that we don't want anymore on our path. We end up burning the bridge completely, which is a form of rebirth, right? And in order for us to get there, we had to had gone through those experiences, right? And so I always like to say, no matter what it was, because you guys know my background, right? And so I feel for the people who are the abusers, right? Not only the people that were abused, but the people who were causing the harm onto other people, right? I feel for these people as well, because I know that God loves them. I know that God is waiting for them to see that certain things, you know, needed to happen, and that certain wounds needed to heal, because it usually stems from some type of wound, right? And so it doesn't separate them from God. That's just how I am. Like, God loves every single individual. And sometimes even being too much into the light can separate you from God, right? In the sense of where like you're just too too naive, and you're being over like, oh, you're overindulging in the goodness per se, right? So God loves, no matter what it is, no matter which side you're in, God still loves you. God doesn't separate itself from you. You just have to find that balance, to find the God within you, right? So I wanted to take like piggyback on what I was speaking about last night, so that we can understand that in order for us to find that balance within ourselves, that masculine, that feminine side, and come into unity within ourselves, right? We have to be able to experience expansion, and experience duality, and experience those polar opposites. And sometimes we are thrusted into going deep into whichever side. Like, we go too deep into the one and too deep into the other. And so the deeper we go into whichever side, the harder it is for us to come up out of it, right? Which is why it's important that we find balance, right? And not pass judgment over anything, because we need both.